Hi everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining us for another episode of FPL Fix. Game week 2 was insane. Burnley players dominated, only 5 strikers avoided a blank, and injuries to key players caused mayhem. We're here to cover it all as we set our sights on game week 3. My name's James and I'm joined as always by Patrick.
Hi everyone, in this episode we'll look at the most transferred players, some of the top performers, the best players to target, and we'll reveal our lineups for game week 3. But before we get into all of that good stuff, let's see how we did in game week 2. James, why don't you kick things off?
Well, like most managers, I had a strange game week. All of my defensive players returned, including double Burnley and double Spurs who played Man City, with Van de Ven coming off my bench after both Palmer and Rotter missed out through injury. Cucurella also picked up 5 points with an assist to finish off my back line, but my attack really let me down. Reinders, Rodgers, Watkins, Evanilson and my captain Haaland all blanked and managed just 2 points apiece. Gakpo though was the star of my team this week. He picked up 2 assists and bonus for 10 points and covered Salah really well again, even with the Egyptian's very late assist. I finished 1 point below the average and my rank did drop, but all things considered it wasn't too bad at all. How did your team get on?
I didn't have a good game week. I wasn't brave enough to play double Burnley, so I left Bravko on the bench, who outscored Sanchez. As Steve did well, he got a clean sheet and Van de Ven got auto-subbed in for Palmer, so that helped. Aina and Maguire let me down though, really annoying when Maguire scored for Man United midweek as well. In midfield, Bruno missed a penalty, which hurt. He should have picked up double-digit return if he scored that penalty. Enzo did manage that for me though, and repaid my faith with a goal and an assist for 10 points, but everyone else flopped. I got just 2 points for Reinders, James, Watkins and my captain Haaland. I finished on 39 points, which was below the average, but let's move on.
Okay, so now we know some of the players who failed to perform in game week 2, let's have a look at some of the players who smashed it in each position. Starting in goal, and Pickford is top of the list with his 15 point return following his heroic penalty save, clean sheet and bonus points. Vicario was second, he scored 9 points against Man City, keeping a clean sheet and picking up some bonus and save points. I've put Dubravka third because of his price, but all of Dubravka, Raya and Petrovic finished on 6 points.
Moving on to defence, and the Arsenal fullbacks were amazing. Timber was top with an amazing 24 points through 2 goals, an assist, the clean sheet and bonus points. Calafiori took second spot with another 13 point return, he got 2 assists along with his clean sheet. Kayode Diakite shared third place with 10 points each, not bad for the 4.5 price defenders.
Now moving on to midfield, and Burnley dominated here. Josh Cullen and Anthony both bagged a goal and an assist against Sunderland, with Cullen just taking top spot through the extra bonus point. Dango was joint second with Anthony, he scored a goal and hit DEFCON points on his debut with Brentford.
In strike, and João Pedro performed, which really hurt us non-owners. He scored, he picked up 2 assists and finished with bonus for 15 points. Gyökeres next, and he picked up 12 points for 2 goals. Ekitike came third and is already showing consistency early on. He scored again and picked up maximum bonus to finish on 9 points and is now the top scoring forward in the game already.
Okay, now let's take a look ahead to game week 3 and see who the most transferred players are so far. Starting with transfers out, and the numbers are massive here because of the injury situation. Palmer, Frimpong, Saka and Aït-Nouri, all premium players in their positions and all out with injuries, so a lot of managers are moving away and shifting funds. Wirtz is the only player in the top 5 transfers out who isn't injured, but he hasn't started the season well and hasn't been involved in any of Liverpool's goals, so that's why he's on the chopping block.
Looking at the transfers in, and you can see the impact of the premium sales, a lot of managers are choosing to downgrade Palmer or Saka to Semenyo and then free up funds to upgrade their striker. Semenyo is top of the list after back-to-back returns in the opening weeks. João Pedro is the most brought-in striker after his 15-pointer and is now the highest owned player in the game. Richarlison's next, and he's done really well as Tottenham's number 9, but James thinks Solanke will get his spot back off him soon. Ekitike is next, and he's been great. Goals in his first 2 games, and after the Arsenal fixture, he could be a must-have. Chris Wood's last, and he's always going to be a great option. He plays West Ham next, who have struggled so far, and I expect him to get at least 1 goal in that match.
Okay, before we move on to our team reveals, there's a lot of managers planning to use a chip this week, with wildcards and free hits being activated all over the place, so we've put together players and teams to target for both options.
Yeah, on a free hit you really are targeting 1 week punts, so the teams to look out for are Man United, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest and Brentford, who all have fixtures worth targeting. Sales and Pope look the best goalkeeping options. Cucurella has been great and Coyote's cheap, but should do well against Sunderland. In midfield, Ndoye has returned in his first 2 games, and against West Ham he should continue that run. Man United are tricky, but Bruno, Mbeumo and Cunha are all worth looking at for a punt given their fixtures. Haaland should be affordable on a free hit team, so he's in, and Chris Wood is definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, and there is a bit of crossover, but for the managers wildcarding this week, you need to look at least a few weeks ahead. The teams to target should be Spurs, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth and Liverpool. Some of the best options for this week, if you're playing the chip, are Vicario or Sells in goal, Porro and Van Dijk in defence, because it's just a matter of time before Porro gets some attacking returns, and Van Dijk is proving himself to be the DEFCON monster we thought he might be. Semenyo and Kudus are great attacking options in midfield, and in strike, Ekatike and Wood look 2 of the best picks. Right, now let's see how we're lining up for Game Week 3. Patrick, why don't you go first?
I've gone aggressive, and I've already taken a -4 this week. Sanchez starts in goal with a decent fixture. My back 3 all play at home and have really good fixtures, so I'm confident in them. Aina, Maguire and Van de Ven. In midfield I'm keeping Palmer and I'm hoping he plays. I've got Reinders away to Brighton, which looks really good, but Bruno, Enzo and Johnson look really strong with their home fixtures. I'm sticking with Haaland as captain, and I've got Watkins as a second striker, and I'm hoping they can both do a bit better this week. I do have Strand Larsen on the bench as cover just in case Palmer misses out. What's your plans, James?
Okay, well, I'm starting Sells in goal this week with his good fixture against West Ham. In defence, Cucurella and Porro are locked in for me. I've got the Spurs double up for now, but might still start Konza over Van der Ven. In midfield, and I might be making my first transfer this season, if Palmer doesn't look likely to start, then I'll be moving him on with a 1 week punt. Brennan Johnson, Elanga or a Man United mid are my picks. Gakpo starts again, even against Arsenal given his form lately. Rodgers and Reinders finish off my midfield. They both have decent fixtures and I'm hoping Rodgers can finally get off the mark this season. In strike, and I'm sticking with Haaland as my captain, he should get chances against Brighton and doesn't blank in back-to-back games very often. Watkins, like Rodgers, really needs to get things going this season, so hopefully this is the week and they can combine for some points. And Evan Nielsen last. It's not an ideal fixture, but he's a proven goal scorer and should be on penalties, so he should be fine. I'm going to wait until the last minute on the Palmer situation, and I'll only hit the transfer button if he's definitely not starting. Surely, if he's fit enough to be at the Carnival, he's fit enough to score a couple against Fulham, right?
And that's all for this episode. Let us know your Game Week 3 captain in the comments below. Give the video a like, hit subscribe if you find this video useful.
Yeah, and follow us on X at Weekend Fix for last minute tips before the deadline. Thanks for watching, good luck this weekend, and hopefully you'll all see green arrows. We'll see you next time after the international break.